Hey guys, early morning video because I'm not going to be here later on. I've got stuff to do. So I don't know if this is real or not. I've seen a lot of articles talking about it, people talking about it, and so if it's on the internet, it must be real, right? But apparently this woman has sued her. This is, I think it's older, but this woman, girl, really, sued her parents for giving birth to her without her consent. I know you're thinking, how is she supposed to give consent if she hasn't been born? Well, apparently, her dad was supposed to like jizz in his hand and be like, "Okay, everyone, is it okay if one of you lucky little ones ends up becoming a child?" I mean, what are they supposed to do? How are you supposed to ask consent of someone that doesn't exist yet? But I'll let her do the talking here. So
Months ago, I took my parents to court for having me without my permission, and I won. So the court ordered them to give me $5,000 a month to cover my basic living expenses. Well, they went and had that appealed. So now they don't have to give me any money, and I have to go get a job. And I'm realizing, like, I don't have any work experience or any higher education. Nowhere's paying me $5,000 a month. So how the hell am I supposed to be able to afford my bills? Like, what? Don't have children if you don't want to support them.
girl, you're like in your 20s. Your parents don't have to support you anymore. Once you're 18, bye bye. They don't have to support you. So the fact is, $5,000 a month. Again, we're going off the assumption that this is in fact true. $5,000 a month that these parents who could have probably used that $5,000, they had to give to her because apparently some judge was idiotic enough to think, oh well, yeah, she's got a point. She didn't give her consent to be born. I rule in favor of her. $5,000 a month, and them being the rightful, the right parents and saying, you know what, this is BS. We're appealing that, and then the judge, I'm sure it was a different judge and all that. There, he's like, or they, she, whatever. They're like, yeah, this is stupid. Yeah, your appeal is granted. And now, little miss, I don't want to work for a living. I just want mommy and daddy to hand me my money. Finds out that guess what? In the real world, you're not going to be able to afford things if you don't have a job. And yeah, you're not going to have a job that pays you $5,000 a month unless it's a really, really, really good job. Have you considered OnlyFans? I mean, just like every other girl seems to be doing nowadays. Well, I don't want to work. I'll just make an OnlyFans and then, and sell pictures of my body for, however much a month for people. Have you considered that? And apparently, this woman is from New Jersey. As someone who's born in New Jersey, we do not claim her. This is one of those. No, we don't claim her. Um, but the fact is, suing her parents for giving birth to her. Again, what's the father supposed to do? I mean, because they came from her and egg from the mother. Were like, seriously, again, is he supposed to just jizz in his hand, like, okay, guys, or girls, or they thems? I mean, what? How are you supposed to ask consent of someone who does not exist? So, all right. So I just looked it up. I mean, apparently it says she's 18, which again, even if she's not in her 20s, once you hit 18, your parents are not obligated to raise you, give you money and take care of you. You're now an adult. So, guess what? You got to go out and get a job. You may want to live some kind of lavish lifestyle, which is why you're relying on that $5,000 a month. And I say lavish as in, she probably wants to go out all the time and stuff like that. But unfortunately, some adults just don't have that privilege, that opportunity. So again, I'm seriously hoping this isn't true. but just the entitlement that this person believes they have. Oh, well, they gave birth to me without my consent. Yeah, you didn't exist yet, smart one. You can't give consent. And even before, even after you're born, how long is it going to take before you can give consent on whatever? No, you can't. It's stupid. That whole argument is stupid. And the fact that the judge ruled in her favor the first time, that judge needs to be fired because clearly that judge is lacking critical thinking skills. Oh, well, they're right. They didn't ask her consent. How can you ask consent of a non-existent person, numbnuts? Um, but college tuition and blah blah blah. Well, guess what? You're gonna have to do what like every other young person has to do. Take out a student loan. Yes, you're gonna have to pay it back, but that's life. If you want to get into a good school and get a good education, you're gonna have to take out a student loan. That's just how the world works. And if you don't, well, then you better start looking for low-level jobs that'll hire you and teach you on the job. Because she said herself she has no experience, which is pretty pathetic. So you better learn how to start. Actually, I can't even say flipping burgers because most people don't have flip burgers now, unless it's like some small mom and pop joint or. I think like all the higher places or the main chains or something. I know Burger King doesn't flip burgers anymore. I don't know if McDonald's and Wendy's and all, but I know Burger King doesn't. Um, but yeah, just the entitlement, thinking that she deserves $5,000 a month because her parents didn't ask her for consent to have her. Come on, come on. And even if say she's adopted or whatever, same thing. It's still stupid. You're a child. You don't consent to whether someone adopts you or not. You're being taken out of a bad situation and put into a hopefully better situation, which obviously, if that was the case, I'd say this person uh found because, you know, their parents seem to have money enough to give them $5,000 a month. Um, but it says giving birth to her without her consent. So we're going to go off that basis. So giving birth to someone without their consent, you can't do it. It's impossible. Like, what? And what else would they do? Like as she's in there, her mother screaming in pain, her legs up in the air. The doctor's like, "Hey, hey, do you give consent to us bringing you into the world?" What? I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I just heard back. I don't know. They're crying. I don't know if that was a yes or no. We're just gonna bring them into the world now. Like, how do you? Some people, I swear. But yeah, this a woman sued her parents for giving birth to her. You cannot get more ridiculous than that. I've seen a lot of dumb crap online, but this is by far one of the dumb. I mean, we've seen people crying like, I have to work like 20 hours a week, and people misgender me, and oh God, we were busy, and I just But this, she just doesn't want to work. I mean, just come out and flat out say you don't want to work. At least then people might give you a little bit of respect. Well, at least she's honest about it. Society now. A place where you can sue your parents for giving birth to you because they didn't ask for your consent first. Anyway, that's going to do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.